Welcome to F125 and welcome to Driver Career. Before you get started, we need to choose how you'll play. This is the default setup, designed to give you a balanced experience. Or if you're already familiar with the F1 games, you can customize your settings as much as you want yourself. That's it from me. Enjoy!
Surfer Girl.
Hey, I'm Elena. I'll be your agent for your sure-to-be legendary career in Formula One. Great to meet you. Now that we've introduced ourselves, you'll see that you now have a set of driver ratings. These will be tied to you for the entirety of your career and will track your progress. As you perform well out on track, these ratings will improve and feed into various other areas of your journey through F1. We'll cover each rating in more detail later. We'll be working closely together to get you the best deal possible. So, decision time. Who will you drive for this season? Tough choice, I know. On this screen, you can view all the available teams and view some information about them to help you make a choice. Here, you can check out the basic information covering their principal, HQ, and vehicle information. Opposite this, you can see the current performance of this team compared to the rest of the field. This performance will change, depending on your success with development during the coming seasons. Recognition is a system that the team will use to determine how much R&D responsibility you were given. You'll be compared against your teammate, and resource points will be split accordingly. Increase your recognition by improving your driver ratings, your current contract, and other bonuses that we'll cover later. Okay, who would you like your teammate to be? You can view both of the current drivers and toggle through some information here before making your decision. It might have an impact on your standing within the team.
Finally, let's do this for real. Sorry it took so long. You know what these legal types are like? Yes, sir. No, sir. Here's 80 pages of needless jargon, sir. Anyway, believe it or not, this is my excited face. Come on. Let me show you what we've got. So, all the usual stuff, merchandising, likeness, blah, blah, blah. But the really juicy stuff is their expectation of you. They need you to challenge yourself all season, be the best you can be, dominate your teammate, become a legend. All that jazz. Now, it's over to you.
Okay, here we are. It's contract time. The team are expecting you to improve as your career evolves. And so am I. Here, we will be setting you a contractual target with the team, so that this progress can be tracked by both parties. Here, you can view your current ratings with your overall rating, or RTG, shown at the top. This is the value that will be used to set your contract target. In order to improve this, you'll need to show your worth at each race weekend. Your current rating has been used as a starting point. Move this slider to set your target for next season. A higher target requires consistently good results at each race weekend, but you'll get more recognition when you sign. Here, you can view your recognition with the team. The higher the target you set yourself, the more recognition you will earn when you sign. More recognition equals more car development. More car development makes car go fast. You know the drill. Remember, if you fail to meet that target, you will lose this recognition bonus, so don't bite off more than you can chew. You can see some basic information on the contract, as well as the number of seasons your contract will last. After this season concludes, you may be offered longer contracts, if the team thinks you deserve one. A longer contract will give another recognition bonus when you sign. There's a few other points for us to go over, but we can leave those until you're settled. I'll leave you to finalize your terms. We're signed. That sounds awesome to say. Time to go crush that target. I'll see you soon. Quickly, before we gear up for the first race this season, a couple of things. Throughout your career, you'll get a lot of important information. Keep an eye on this tab between each race to see what you've been sent. We also have a wonderful team of specialists that will be dedicating some of their time to help us this season. When you have a moment, we should go and get introduced. They don't bite, I promise. Driver Details contains all the important information for your accolades, contracts, rivalries, and driver ratings. Keep an eye on it throughout the season.
Hi mate, Mark here. I'm your engineer for the season ahead, and I'm absolutely buzzing to be working with you. When you're ready, come and see me over in R&D and we can chat about the development of the car. See you soon.
Your specialists are a team of experts that will be working with us part-time to maximize your research and development within the team. They will offer you goals to complete each race weekend. Completing these goals will increase your relationship level with a specialist. When that level increases, you'll get perks that improve their area of R&D. You can see each specialist's title and current level here, as well as a message stating whether they have some goals available. Selecting a specialist will take you to a details screen where you can view their perks and goals. When you're ready, select an available specialist to see what they are offering you. Each specialist will have perks that match their area of expertise. As you improve your relationship with a specialist, you'll gain access to the corresponding perk. You can also select which of the available goals you would like for the upcoming race weekend. You can change your choice at any time from here or at the track. The weekend. After entering the first session, your selected goal will be locked in. You can see your selected goals and can view this during the weekend. After the race, you'll get a rundown of which goals you passed or failed and any progress made towards each specialist's level. If you fail a goal, you'll lose progress, so pick goals you're confident in completing. In short, don't get greedy. This icon represents your primary specialist. They will offer double XP for successfully completing goals to help you unlock their perks faster. You can choose any available specialist to be your primary and change this right up until you enter the first session of a race weekend. Welcome to your Contracts Hub. Here, you'll be able to view your current contract and all the information relating to it. To start, you can see all the base information for your current contract, your target rating, your current rating, and more. In this main area, you'll find a graph that tracks your rating each race. It will also display your target, so you can see how far off you are. Obviously, we haven't raced yet, so there's no data. Be sure to come back and check this after each race weekend. These are your active accolades. Through your glorious F1 career, you will work towards these, and each accolade has multiple tiers, just to keep you on your toes. Highlight an accolade and you'll see what it is, how to complete your current tier, and the rewards. When you've completed one, it will appear down below for you to get all nostalgic and reminisce on past glories. Across your career, you will always be compared against your teammate in a few different ways. Teammate battles are ongoing rivalries with rewards given every race weekend based on performance. Close points tallies can trigger a championship narrative rivalry. This compares your own points tally with your rivals, with the goal of outscoring them by a significant margin to win. Rewards are given upon completion. If your ratings are close to another driver, it can trigger driver ratings rivalry. The goal is to achieve a big gap over your rival. Rewards are given upon completion. Each rivalry has an intensity level. At key moments throughout the season, this may increase for one or more rivalries. A higher intensity level means you'll need to do more to win, but you'll earn more rewards. This graph will show you how your driver ratings are evolving throughout your career in F1. upwards, I hope. Your current stats are visible on the right. Each has been color-coded to match a line on the graph. Progress will update after each race weekend, and you can view both the present season as well as past ones. Finally, at the bottom of the screen, you can see a description of each rating and what you need to do in order to improve each of them. You can select drivers from the left-hand list, and they will then appear with their ratings next to you on the right. Ratings listed in red are lower, while higher and equal ratings are shown in white.
Okay, mate, let's chat R&D. Research and developments may be the most important aspect of F1, and you and I are going to work together to bring on the car's performance. This is where you'll be investing in upgrades. We have 4 areas of development. Here you can see an overview of the departments and how many upgrades are currently applied in each. Selecting one of these will take you to their respective tech trees. In order to develop upgrades, you'll have your very own resource point account, unique to you as a driver. Your teammate's going to have their own one too. Your current resource points can be viewed on your player card here, and points are earned passively each week. And the higher your recognition, the more points we'll give you. You can also earn points via practice programs, and, well, you know how much I love getting good data. Finally, this chart shows the performance you've extracted from each department based on the number of applied upgrades. You can also see the max potential for each department based on the remaining and how far we can go. Here, you're going to be able to see a list of upgrades that are currently in progress. This is now split between upgrades that you started and those that your teammates started, so I know exactly who's getting the brownie points after a good weekend. You can toggle which list you want to see right here. This graph charts the performance progress of all of the teams. It allows you to view our progress versus the rest of the competition over multiple seasons. And you know me, I love a graph.
The long wait is over. This is it, a brand new season. And before the show gets well and truly underway, we've got the all-important matter of a free practice session. It's great to be back.
OK, mate, this is the first running of the real car. Now, I know it's a big ask, but let's get some useful data and get you used to how the practice sessions work. Let's start the season as we mean to go on, eh? I know we can have a great year, so let's go. OK, me again, mate. We've made some changes to the way that ERS works this year, so you're going to have multiple modes to choose from in the race now. Have a play around with them in your MFD during the practice sessions and think about how you might use them on race day. I'll check back with you soon to chat more about it. Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. OK, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done. Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap. Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining. Portoletto's behind you now. This test is all about tyre management. Try to control the slip through each corner and take extra care putting the power down at the apex. Great work, we've hit our secondary target time. Now let's try and repeat that in qualifying. Because temperature's so important for your tyres, cool down laps are now vital after a push lap so that we don't light up the rubber too much, not to mention recharging the battery. Fantastic lap, that's beaten our secondary target time. Great work, we've hit our secondary target time. Now let's try and repeat that in qualifying. Albon behind. Programme complete, programme complete. These results all do, although you could definitely do better. Consider giving it another shot. Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
And that's it. Practice is officially over. Until next time, goodbye. And a warm welcome, everybody. We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
Right, the car's ready. Let's get it out there. Okay, Hulkenberg's behind you now. Albon's ahead of you. They're sitting in 7th. Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining. Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
Less than 1 lap of fuel left now. The tank's pretty much empty.
Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Upgrades can be purchased by you and your teammate, so remember to play nice. Each upgrade will be labelled with the driver that purchased it. Any upgrade that's been completed will be applied to both cars at the team. But no matter who did it, remember that if the car's slow, well, it's down to the drivers, and if it's quick, it's all thanks to me. Okay, here's where you're going to purchase and manage your upgrades for each department. If a part fails development, you can also come here to restart and finalise it, but just don't ever go at me when you do. As you develop parts, you're going to unlock access to more. Highlighting locked upgrades will tell you what's required to gain access to it. For each department, you can quickly view which perks are available as a result of your relationship with our specialists and your current recognition within the team. When you select an upgrade, you can quickly view some information about it. The estimated completion timeline, the upgrade that it unlocks, as well as where we stand in the development race. Finally, you can see the failure chance of the upgrade. Or if you can't afford it, a bit of red pen from me saying that you haven't got enough points. If you want to rush something through though, you can do that here if you have a high enough recognition and if you want to risk a higher failure chance. Tip from me though, if you do want to rush something, buy the crew some sweets as thanks for the overtime.
The winter is over. It's time for Formula One 2025. Yes, that long break that you've all been coping with so well can now be put to the back of your minds. It's on-track action and it's off-track drama. That's what we're looking forward to. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 14 corners and 3.28 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles per hour. The close proximity of the barriers make accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Yuki Tsunoda lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Hamilton, Lando Norris, and Fernando Alonso, Russell, Antonelli, Ocon, and Charles Leclerc, Hülkenberg, Sainz, Liam Lawson, and Stroll, Hadjar, Hayes, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Surfer Girl, Albon, Gasly, Pierce, and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And with me for this commentary this afternoon, former racing driver Naomi Schiff. As much as I like testing, and I do love testing, and I've really enjoyed the build-up here and all the speculation, I really want to see some action. And finally today, we get some proper action on the track.
This is always such an exciting time in the season. First of all, it's the first time they'll be racing their new cars. So that's always an exciting thing for drivers to look forward to. But also, they've had a long time off during the winter break. So it's about dusting the cobwebs off, getting the rust off of their bones, and really getting their elbows out there and having some fun.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
That's Hayes behind you now. Alonso's ahead of you. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 2.0 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. They're in 18th. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Watch out for understeer in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Okay, mate, we might need to look at a new race strategy. Norris just ahead, push for the position, and the time last lap, 1 minute 34.6. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on fresh hards, their tyres are just 1 lap old. We think they've got 1 more stop. Hamilton's ahead of you. Time last lap, 1:34.3. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Their tyres are just 1 lap old. We think they've got 1 more stop. That's Hamilton behind, and the time last lap, 1 minute 27.7. Okay, they're on fresh hards, their tyres are 2 laps old. We think they've got 1 more stop. Looks like the car behind has a small amount of damage to the front wing, but it doesn't seem to be affecting performance. Just be aware. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. You're down to 24 laps of fuel remaining. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Nice move, good job. Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. Gap to your teammate behind, 10.0 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. They're currently 17th place. Time last lap, 1:28.9. Alright, we'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in this strategy. And that's 6 laps till your pit window's open. And gap to the car in front, 3.6. Come on, you can win that place back. Russell's ahead of you now, and the time last lap, 1:27.5. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 4.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Come on, mate, we're dropping back by a second a lap. Conditions look stable at the moment, no rain currently expected. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 0.2 seconds. I've got information on Albon for you. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring. We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Norris behind. Time last lap, 1:27.7. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 8 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Okay, clear. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 16.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. They're currently 16th. And the time last lap, 1:29.4. Piastri stopping now. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, so the current fastest lap, 1:26.0. Remember to play around with ERS modes in your MFD if you need to. Great stuff, it looked like you made easy work of that target. Let's try and keep that going right through to the end of the race. Okay, we want you to pit this lap, so push now, push. And we've got 16 laps of fuel left. 16 laps. Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed. Okay, radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now. Okay, let's go now, come on! Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, we're down to 15 laps of fuel left now. Tyre condition still looking good. P6, you got P6. The distance to the leader, 12.9 seconds. Sonoda ahead. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Okay, that's Pierre behind. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 9 laps to go. As things stand, we'll be 6th in the championship. We've got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Pierre is in for his stop now. Car behind's just boxed for mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre now. Green flag. We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Okay mate, okay, Sonoda's behind you. It is critical for our race that we keep them behind, please. Okay, that wasn't quite what we needed there, I'm afraid, but listen, not to worry. Get your head down and chin up, and let's focus for the rest of this race. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 0.4 seconds. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 0.4 seconds. Time last lap, 1 minute 27.3. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 22.0 seconds. And the time last lap, 1:32.3. Gap to your teammate behind, 21.0 seconds. Okay, we've got 10 laps of fuel to go, 10 laps of fuel left. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Good job, that was the fastest lap of the race so far. Nine laps of fuel to go, 9 laps left. Okay, gap to the car in front, 14.9 seconds. Time last lap, 1 minute 27.3. Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. Okay, final lap, let's go, final lap. Systems all looking good, head down. Yes, yes, come on, we're on the podium. Good job this weekend, that's a great drive, thank you.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
And to get a victory at the first race of the season, this might be a sign of things to come. One thing's for sure is that this performance will be giving the team and the driver relief and confidence going into the rest of the season.
To bring out the bubbly and spray it around, it's our podium celebrations. But there can only be one on the top step. Your number one, Max Verstappen. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one. It's Monte Carlo with history, glamour, and a uniquely tight and claustrophobic challenge. One that over the course of a lap sees us tour an entire country. Welcome along to the Monaco Grand Prix. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco, then, is not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo. And although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Antonelli, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, and Lance Stroll. Hadjar, Albon, Carlos Sainz, and Lawson. Bortoletto, Ocon, Ollie Behrman, and Jack Doohan. Gasly and Nico Hulkenberg rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was about 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometres an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, DRS is now available. Okay, you're sat in P2. Piastri's ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead, 2.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Russell behind. They're on fresh softs. Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race on this compound. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Watch out for understeer in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Push, push. Final lap, push, push. Oh, you worked hard for that one. Congratulations. Well done.
Oh, you definitely take that one. Wow.
Looked like you had plenty of energy the rest of the race, so well done.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
They had to be decisive with their overtaking today as they worked their way through the field. And those kind of race victories are so enjoyable because it's not just like winning from the front. They really had to work for it today.
From lights out to the checkered flag, each and every driver has this moment in the back of their mind. Now it's time for their celebrations. Our podium, it awaits. And for those that have missed the Dutch national anthem, fear not. It's back again because Max Verstappen is back on the top step. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One. The hills are alive with the sound of engines. It's race day here at the Austrian Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position. And Andrea Kimi Antonelli completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Tsunoda, Norris, Oscar Piastri and Leclerc, Verstappen, Russell, Albon and Liam Lawson, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz and Hadjar, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Pierre Gasly and Ollie Behrman. Doohan and Gabriel Bortoleto rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Yuki's in the car ahead. Okay, Piastri just ahead. Push hard, push hard. We can now use DRS. DRS now available. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race. Yes, mate, I'll take that. Well done. We're really happy with the podium down here, so well done. Yes.
I tried everything I could, but it was just not quick enough. But still good points.
And extending his already record-breaking winning record, it's Lewis Hamilton to the line for victory.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
Well, it's been a long wait for many of our drivers, but the wait is always worth it. Bring them out to the awaiting crowd. It's time for our podium celebrations. It's a familiar sight in Formula One, and here it is once again. Lewis Hamilton, with the trophy held high, celebrating a masterful victory. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon. Welcome to Silverstone. This ground here is rich with history, a former airfield that served in the Second World War and now hosts one of the oldest and most iconic races in motorsport. It's the Formula One British Grand Prix. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Andrea Kimi Antonelli lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Tsunoda, Hamilton, George Russell and Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso and Alex Albon, Lawson, Stroll, Isaac Hadjar and Sainz, Gasly, Bortoletto, Ollie Behrman and Esteban Ocon. Doohan and Nico Hulkenberg rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Antonelli's behind you.
Nestled in the Ardennes forest waits an absolutely classic challenge. A throwback, and unashamedly so. The reputation of Spa-Francorchamps speaks for itself. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Belgian Grand Prix. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high-quality racing as well. Simply put it, there's no place quite like it. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Tsunoda, Max Verstappen, and Hamilton. Antonelli, Norris, Sainz, and Lance Stroll. Albon, Fernando Alonso, Liam Lawson, and Hadjar. Doohan, Hulkenberg, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Esteban Ocon. Behrman, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was about 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometres an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
Okay, mate, radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. We've got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. So weather shouldn't play a factor today. We're expecting it to remain dry all the way through. Okay, dry seemed like the best tyre for now. Systems all looking good. Head down. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. Leclerc behind. They're on fresh softs, and the time last lap, 1:54.5.
One of many more, let's keep pushing.
Here's the checkered flag, and our winner has landoed. It's Lando Norris for victory.
You always look back at a race like this and think, if I'd just made that mistake there or looked up here, there would have been contact. And every one of those overtakes is a moment where you have to absolutely nail it, perfect it, and that's exactly what they're able to do today. Great stuff indeed.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved watching that action today, and I'm sure these three have loved taking part. Here come our podium finishers. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again. You all the excitement of Formula One.